Lesson 5, negative exponents and the laws of exponents. So if we take a look at the example here in the box, I'm going to put it up here just for some room. So if I have 5 to the negative second over 1, I'm just going to flip these around. So then I get 1 over 5 squared. And why does this happen? This happens because let's do 3 to the first. Well, that's 3. 3 to the 0 is 1. And 3 to the negative 3 is going to be 1 over 3. So each time I'm dividing it by 3. So then if I go up to 3 squared, that's going to be 9. So as I go up, it times by 3, and if I go down, it divides by 3. So that's why when you get into the negatives, they're decimals. So then 3 to the negative second is 1 over 9. And you can check those with the decimal equivalents. So if you have a negative exponent, you just flip it over. So for this one, where the negative is on the bottom, you will have 1 over 5 to the negative second. You just flip it around to make the exponent positive. So it would be 5 squared over 1, which is just 5 squared. Verify the general statement that x to the negative b equals 1 over x to the b, for x equals 3 and b is negative 5. So when we put in here into the b, we're putting in a negative 5. So it's not just x to the negative 5, it's x to the negative 5. So that negative stays, and then you just put in parentheses the number. So then you have 1 over 3 to the negative 5. So if I look at that, that's really 1 over, so if I just take this part here, it's 1 over 3 to the 5th, right? If we flip it over, because it was 3 to the negative 5th over 1, and you flip that. So we get this here. So then it's 1, so then we're here, so it's 1 over 3 to the 5th. Well, remember, when you divide fractions, you do copy, kiss, or multiply, and flip it. So that's 1 over 3 to the 5th. So that equals 3 to the 5th. The other way you can look at it is if you just have 3 to the negative 5, you have 1 over 3 to the negative 5, and when you flip that, it's just 3 to the 5th. So please make sure both ways are copied down. What is the value of 3 times 10 to the negative second? So that's 3 times 1 over 10 squared. So that's 3 over 10 squared, which is 3/100. What is the value times 3 to the negative 5th? That's 3 times 1 over 10 to the 5th. So it's 3 over 10 to the 5th. Tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. So 300,000ths is our answer. Write an equivalent expression in exponential notation to the one given and simplify as much as possible. So we have 5 to the negative third over 1. So then I have to flip it, become 1 over 5 to the third. 5 times 5 times 5 is 125, so it's 1 over 125. So you have x to the negative third over 1. Flip it, so you get 1 over x to the third. And that's your final answer. It can't be simplified any more than that. One over 8 to the ninth. 1 over 8 to the ninth, you flip it, so you get 8 to the negative ninth. 1 over x to the ninth, you flip it and you get x to the negative ninth. Three times 2 to the negative fourth, so that's 3 over 1 times 2 to the fourth, 2 to the negative fourth over 1, so you have to flip that. So then you have 3 times 1 over 2 to the fourth, so that's 3 over 2 to the fourth, or 3/16. So same thing here, 1 over x times y to the negative fourth over 1, flip that because it's negative. So I have x over 1 times 1 over y to the fourth. So then my answer is just, oh, if I can click on the right thing. X to the y, x divided by y to the fourth. Okay, let's look at the next one, exercise 11. Now we have 19 squared divided by 19 to the fifth. So again, when you're dividing, you're going to wind up crossing things off. So 19 divided by 19 is 1, 19 divided by 19 is 1, leaving 3 19s on the bottom and only 1 on top. So it's 1 over 19 to the third, which is 19 to the negative 3. The next one is 17 to the 16 over 1 times 1 over 17 to the negative 3, because I just broke those two apart. So I have to flip this one here. So then I get, there is a division bar here. So then I come down here and I wind up with 17 to the 16th times 17 to the third. So I add the exponents and I get 17 to the 19th. Show directly that 7 fifths to the negative fourth is 7 to the negative fourth over 5 to the negative fourth. So you have 7 over 5 to the negative fourth. So that's got to go to each of the numbers. So then you'll have 7 to the negative fourth over 5 to the negative fourth. And if you really want to get fancy, since they're both negative, flip it around to make them positive. So it's going to be 5 to the fourth over 7 to the fourth.